Hello there, survivors! If you clicked on this video, you probably are wanting to know how to craft one of these. This is a cryopod. Now, they have many uses, and we'll get into that here, but first, let's go about how to craft them. Now, there's a couple different ways, about 3 or 4 ways that you can actually go about crafting these. First off, they are unlocked at level 51, and the cryo fridge is unlocked at level 88. Now the cryo fridge just recharges the cryopods, but they're relatively easy and cheap to make, so you could just probably make more when your current ones die. So you got to get to level 51 to be able to craft them. So now how do you craft them? Now you can come over to any old obelisk, and they'll be under the folder weapons, and there will be the cryopod right there. We just go ahead and throw these in here. It's going to take you 10 crystal, 15 fiber, 5 hide, 2 metal ingots, 4 oil, and 8 polymer. And you can craft that here in the obelisk. And just like that, we have a new cryopod. Now, you can also craft these in loot crates, and as soon as that one gets down, I will go over and show you guys. But if you also have a tech replicator, they are available to craft here as well. So there's many options. They used to only be able to be crafted on the tech replicator, and they used to only be able to be learned in extinction. But things have since changed, so we can now craft them anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and fly over to a drop and just show you guys that they're also available to be crafted in any of the loot drops that are coming down too. Alright, so we have a fresh drop that just come down here. Should be able to access its inventory. And you can see we also have our folders to access here. So let me just go ahead and throw my resources in them. And as you can also see from here, we are also able to craft a cryopod in a supply drop. So that is very useful. You can craft them just about anywhere. If, let's say, a large tribe has an obelisk locked down, all you need are a couple of drops to be able to craft them. So let's head back and talk a little bit more about them. And that's it, guys. That's really the 3 main ways you craft cryopods. Alright, so let's say you got your cryopods crafted now. You want to know exactly what you can do with it, or what they're useful for, or how to recharge them, because as you can see on my hotbar down there, there's a little yellow timer. And they're good for 30 days once you craft them. So you got quite a time. They're quite a good amount of time. Now, if you want to recharge them up and you're high enough level, and you craft a cryo fridge, you can go ahead and stick them in there, and they will recharge. Now, as far as I understand, it takes an hour to charge up an hour. So the amount of time that they have been drained down, they will also need in order to charge back up. So it may be good to have extra cryopods and rotate your dinosaurs out if you're keeping them on your inventory while you're gone. Now let's say you're not high enough level to make a cryo fridge, but you want to make your cryopods last. Well, over here, you can see if we have one in the refrigerator, it doubles its spoil timer. So it makes it last up to 60 days, so that you can keep your cryopods lasting longer if you have them in a powered refrigerator. But over here in the preserving bin, they do not get any benefit for being in there. So it is something to be aware of, that the refrigerator is how you extend the life of them, but the cryo fridge is the ultimate way of not having to make new cryopods once your current ones that you have die. So now we know a little bit more about the cryopod itself. Let's go ahead and move on to its uses. So if we cryopod up a creature, it takes a moment and it will end up going into the cryopod, and then we can see that we'll have some information on it here. Now, it'll show you its health, name, gender, a whole bunch of good stuff like that. If I stick that on my hotbar and I pull that back out, you can see down on my hand there's a little double DNA helix showing that there is indeed a creature in there. Now, let's say you have a creature that has some stuff on it, right? And you wanted to cryopod that up. Well, after you do that, it ends up dropping all of its stuff. So everything that was in its inventory is now on the ground, except for its saddle. They will continue to have their saddle on them. So, alright, now we just got all of our creatures cryopoded up. We're wherever we want to be, and we want to throw whatever creature out that we want. Awesome. You can do that. Now, you notice there's a little timer, debuff timer at the bottom right. I believe that starts at 300 seconds. And this is cryo sickness. And this is something that is put on the player when you throw a creature out of its cryopod, and it will actually cause you to have a cryo cooldown. Now, let's say you forgot about this timer or something and you threw another creature out. Well, this creature is now going to be unconscious and have a status debuff of cryo sickness, which makes it take up to 10 times the amount of normal damage, plus it's going to remain unconscious. So let's say if you have something like a T-Rex, it's going to be knocked out for a good hour if it's a high level one. The cryo sickness itself will wear off after your timer after your timer ticks down at the bottom right. But if your creature is normally unconscious for longer than that at its level, it will still be unconscious and you'll have to deal with that. So you got to be careful when you throw creatures out so you can avoid getting cryo sickness on your creatures. Alright guys, and with that I think this concludes our quick little how-to and kind of guide all about the cryopods, different things that they do here. It appears you can only craft one at a time, even though when you hit craft all, something I just found out myself. So if you guys have any questions about these cryopods or the different things that you can do with them in general that I didn't cover in this video, please feel free to ask them down in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them to the best of my abilities and knowledge as well to help you guys out with any questions that you might have. So I think that's all I got for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you found the video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you left a thumbs up on it and maybe even consider subscribing for other good videos like this, or maybe watching some of my Let's Plays. But that's all I got for this one, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.